Welcome, everyone, to another episode of In the Life of Jared. And I failed last week in that I did not make a video for last week to cover week 4. But I said I would make 2 videos. But I said, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm sitting here and I'm going to make this video that covers the 4th and the 5th week of 2026 for me. Let's get into it, everyone. So, what was last week like for me? Last week I was busy. The Monday I went to my HOD, gave us the week to work from home. Now people, I was so happy because I always have things to do. It's just how my life is right now. So I went on Monday. I had to go and collect this check from my insurance, from this doctor visit from when I had to get my toenail removed. So I got the check when I reached there. I didn't realize it was open till 11, so I had to wait like a good half hour, but that was okay. I was listening to an audiobook. I'll give you more on that just now. So I went there Monday. From there, what did I do on Monday? I went there. I had to go to, I think I had to go to town to collect a package. I think I did that. And what else did I do? That was the day that the fast ended. Yes. No, yeah, that was the day after the fast ended. So I had Wendy's that day to break the fast. And later on that day, I went and bought Chinese food for my siblings and I. Because what we do as siblings, every month when we get paid, each one of us, there's a food item that we buy. So for me, it'll be anything. It'll be if I buy Chinese or there's a lady behind us who sell food, I buy food, whatever. My brother would usually, what did he buy for us? He had bought something already during the fast. And then my sister, she'll buy the KFC chicken because on a Sunday I will cook like a cook up, and then we have it with KFC chicken. Has she honored her January commitment? No, but that's a story for another time. So I did that the Monday. The Tuesday, and I know my plans, all those things are divinely protected. So I'm sharing this in authenticity to encourage people when we look back at these videos. I went in and I submitted I did the interview rather for my housing application. And I'm so proud that the application was backdated to the first time I applied. So it's years now, right? Because of how it was backdated. And I thank God for that. You know, something I do anytime when I leave my house, I pray and so on. But like when I'm about to go a place, I would always say, Lord, let your favor find me there. Whether it be to get through at a faster pace than one normally would, or something good, let your favor find me there. So that day I spent a good couple hours there because for me it was not just the land I wanted one where they build the homes. And yes, a few people I talked to before, they were like, oh, don't take that, just take the land because a lot of the homes that they've built aren't good. And so I said, Lord, when I get that call to come in and be able to either choose the land or be given it whatever with the house, I pray that it's one of the quality ones I'll get. And I thank you for that. So I did that. So that process was a bit long because my brother and I, but because he just wanted his process finished faster than my process. And that day was a reminder to me to advocate for yourself, because at one stage of me waiting, people who came after me got through. So I told the girl, so what's going on? She's like, what's your name? And she's like, you're supposed to already got through. So anyways, she waited a minute. I got called in. I did what I had to do. So that was a Tuesday. The Wednesday, because of how many things I did, like these days now feel like a blur. What did I do the Wednesday? The Wednesday, if I'm correct, I think I went and I took my car to get washed. And if you ask me my car now, you'd never believe it washed a week ago, but the roadways with the construction and so on is terrible. But I went and I got my car washed, and I think I also went to the bank that day, yes, to cash the check. Or no, to deposit the check into my account. The Thursday, what did I do Thursday? Last week Thursday, what did I do? I honestly can't remember. But then the Friday I went to one of my part-time jobs. So that was that. And so that was that. The Saturday, now y'all hear me? Got up, cook, went to lesson, taught lesson. I would teach lessons from 10:30 to 2 o'clock because it's two classes. The first class finishes at 12, the second class starts at 12 and ends at 2. And then one of my very good friends, I took her to like if you can call it an afternoon lunch, because there were some things that I really need to talk to her about. So I got that started out. So I reached home, let's say around 4, almost 5. And then what did I do Saturday night? I can't remember. I really can't remember what I did Saturday night, but knowing me, I probably did some work on the computer. And then Sunday, got up. Now you know it's got to get up extra early on Sunday. Cooked. Went to Sunday school because right now I'm leading that department at church. Went to Sunday school, did my role, went to church, did my role. I had therapy at 2. This, my last therapy session though, was more of like my therapist said, this was like a gaff, not really a session. But I told her it was okay. The truth is, when she asked me how I was feeling and so on, like, I was okay. I've been in a good mental space, whatever. And then we had a session a little week, 2 weeks before, but it wasn't a therapy session. That was really me. I was a participant of her research for her master's. But it was kind of therapeutic in that some of the things that I had to talk about and so on, I had my own moments of realization. She was like, I was shocked that you schedule a session so quickly after that semi-session. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm in February. I think I'm going to have my next session probably like late February, month end, going into March. Anyways, I did that. I came home and I had a function to be at for 6. And I was to go and sleep. I don't know what I ended up doing, but whatever I did, it took about the time I didn't bother get to sleep. I went to the function. It was a party. The party was rushed. It was boring. I feel like they should have asked me to MC. I don't like. I like timely events. It was semi-timely in that it didn't start too late. But at the same time, I don't like when people rush things. Like, it felt very rushed. The production value of it was kind of low in my opinion. Anyways, I went. I made sure I walk with a gift because that's something I'm intentional about. It's not. I think a lot of people do this thing now. Well, they've always done it where they go to people's events and they don't bring a gift. They're just going in to eat and critique. No. So I did that, and that was the end of last week. I was tired, so that's really why I didn't get to make the video, because I said let me wait until I finish the Sunday. It so happened the way this week started, it was so much. Like, I started gym this week. Yes. No. I made a promise to myself that I was going to get back into gym and fitness. But the truth is, when it comes to like a lot of things in my life, I'm very disciplined. I'm very disciplined for the most part. And even if I procrastinate a little, when I get to do it, I do it and I do it well. I'm a person, the more I do something, I'm that person, the more I do it, the better I become at it, especially once I'm intentional. With gym, though, there's always been a blockage, maybe dare I say a stronghold, where I start, but I stop. And when I stop, it's hard to get back in. Now, in my adult life, when I look back at pictures, I've always been deemed fat and felt fat since I was small. But when I look at, it's weird that when I look back at certain pictures, I'd be like, imagine you were deemed fat at that size. Are you getting what I'm saying? When I check my weight on Thursday, I'm 300 and I think like 41 pounds. Like, I can't even believe that. Like, that's crazy. 60 something pounds or whatever short of 400. That's berserk. I gotta work on it. So I'm gonna be talking a lot of things. So for me, I'm like, I gotta get this thing done. So it was a day I got up, and literally I got up and I was like, you know what? I saw a video probably a day or two before with a trainer who I was thinking about working with, but I knew it would have cost a pretty penny to do it. But it's an investment. And I remember he said in the video, say, you will look at paying a trainer the money, but you'll spend the money you'll look at eating right when you'll spend the money doing. And when he said it, I said, you know what, Jared, why don't you give yourself a chance? For this period of time, go to the gym, pay for the trainer, everything, do it. Learn as much as you can in that time frame. And knowing me, when I have someone to be accountable to, I am more accountable than sometimes when I have to be accountable to myself. That's the truth. So somebody like me, I need an accountability partner. So I decided to do it. I paid the money, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I paid when he sent the options. I decided I'll take the 4 days per week plan. That's 55,000 per month, and the gym that he works, let's say works at, is 15,000 per month. You heard that correct. So that's 70,000. I'm grateful to God that I'm in a place that I could have spent that 70,000 and not have to be like, oh my God, I'm okay. So I've taken away from something else. No, thank you, Lord, for my many blessings. But I work very hard. Those of you who've watched these videos consistently, you hear me talk. I work very hard, and sometimes I have downplayed a lot of times how hard I work. So this year I'm recognizing and I'm acknowledging how hard of a work I am, and I'm applying grace to myself, and I'm trying not to overextend myself. But let's get into it. We're talking, right? So I paid the money. No, at this time I was still in the fast. He was like, "Real, let's start tomorrow." I was like, "Nope." He said, "We start." I said, "Nope. I need time." I was in the fast, and I wanted, when I fasted, not to eat like a crazy. And in that week, that last full week of January, I remember days I eating what I want, anything I want, and I just remembered one of the days I said to myself, when will it stop? And I remember a day as well, I felt so tired of like, yeah, you can buy all these things. It's nice, but then after a while, it gets tired. And it reminded me of when I was in the States for that 8 weeks last year. You know, for first I eating anything I want, but let's say around week 6, heading to the 8th week, between the 6th to the 8th week, I realized I'm tired of these things. Like, I understand why people who live here don't always be eating these things, because it's like, how much of it can you eat? You get sick at some point. And let me tell you something. I have seen many people, and it's a fear of my mother for me. She always said, "I don't want you to get diabetes, I don't want you to get pre-diabetes." It's been a long time I haven't done a test, but this year I will be at some point of the year, because I think I know when I want to take my vacation again. Right now I'm ready for one, but anyways, I think I'll know when I'll take it. So before like I take my vacation and so on, I'm gonna do like a health checkup, make sure everything is correct. Because when I look back at it, the last time I did a health checkup was 2023. I have not done it since then, and that's my goal. I think you should do a health checkup every year, every 6 months. You know, so that's that. So I started. Right now my body's in pain, but it's not as in much pain as it has been during the week. Let me tell you, even yesterday, if you see the climb steps and so on, oh God, I did like this. But my hands, my thighs, the pain is still there, but it's not as intense as before. The thing with the gym though is that there's so many excuses I could make. It's in Providence. Now, with the highways that were built, from my house to there in the morning, I just take 20 minutes, the longest 25, not even so long sometimes, 20, 25 minutes. But coming back home is where it takes some time. Because when I'm coming back home, it's in the traffic. Because people there are now going to work, children are going to school. And I remember thinking all the excuses I can, but like I said to myself, I'm committing to, he says like 60 days, I'm committing to 2 months of going to that gym. I'm committed to the month of February. I'm committed to the month of March. When those 2 months are over, I plan to return to the gym I used to go. The thing with the gym I used to go, the quality is low. But the gym has tools that I can use, and the beautiful thing about that gym is not far from my home, so the positive outweighs. So even when I go in the morning, I realize I can the same traffic I was complaining about coming back home in, I could actually come back home in that traffic, because it will still take me less time to reach home in this traffic here than the East Bank. Because with the East Bank, it's 2 sets of roundabout I gotta clear, then when I cross, and 2 sets of roundabout. Then when I get the highway to Ogle, to get to the Ogle roundabout is a traffic. The Ogle traffic light is a traffic, and the police is be there taking long to let my lane move. Then when I reach the traffic light at the public road, for where I have to turn to reach where I live, is a whole thing. So sometimes it takes me like an hour. The longest it has taken is an hour. But I thank God as the days went by, it took some days 40 minutes, 45, you know, And then I saw tonight a little thing saying traffic advisory somewhere along that road, they're closing off a road. I'm just hoping that whichever road they're closing off wouldn't too much affect me. But listen, it is what it is. Going to gym in the mornings is a way better option for me because the afternoon, by the time I'm going to come off of work, I have to go to gym, then I have to come home to do whatever class I have. It may not be the best. So I prefer to because the only challenge is coming back home. So even if it means I gotta sit in the traffic and maneuver it, because it's really gotta be focused on how traffic is be take for that hour, I'm committing it because guess what? These 2 months is about a sacrifice. When I make the sacrifice and I do what I have to do from February, March, from April, Gospel Life, I'll possibly even send my meal plan. I'll be able to go to the gym. I can utilize the meal plan. And so have I started utilizing the meal plan as it is? No. I'm going to work on that too. But what I've been doing, and if you ask me, I'll tell him the truth. So listen, I ain't start following this meal plan rigorously. But what I am doing is being more intentional about what I eat. So I'm trying to lessen my rice intake. Like today, I had, the only thing I ate today was the macaroni I cooked. I cooked macaroni with some chicken and sausages in a tomato sauce. We call it in Guyana fried macaroni. I made that. I ate some of that, and I wanted to make roti tonight with like tuna. But to be honest with y'all, when I make a roti, take time, and like I genuinely, I ain't able, and maybe it's a good thing I ain't able. So I will either have tonight make a ramen, or my mom said like these dried fruits. I may just munch on that and that's it. Because the truth is, when I think about how I am right now, I am not hungry. But like there's this, I call it a food noise. Like, you should eat something now. And I'm fighting that. I'm not gonna like Thursday and Friday. Like the food noise was extremely crazy. But I'm working on it. I started using these supplements from Lemmy, and this is not a sponsored ad, but I'm just saying, I am using Bella Lemmy Sleep at night. But to be honest, I had to use much of the Lemmy Sleep since I got it this week because of how tired my body does have been from all the things I did this week, like going to sleep and taking too long for a drop to sleep because I'm tired physically. I have in the morning before I go to the gym, I will take the Lemmy Burn, which to help you burn fat. Then after my first meal, I would take the Lemmy GLP-1 and the Lemmy Debloat. So I can't say, oh yes, I'm seeing the change. I think I need to continue using it at least a full week in, and then I realized I wasn't using the thing right. It's 2 gummies that you need to use. I was using 1 at first. So I think by the end of next week, hopefully I should know. But if I'm honest, I think the debloat is already working in evident in when I use the washroom, how I feel, and my stomach is not as puffy as before. You understand? So I think the debloat is already working. What I would like out of the GLP-1 though, I want it to, because it said it's supposed to do this, I really want it to dull my appetite. That's the goal. I want something where when I eat, after a while I feel full quickly, and it dulls the appetite. So but here is the thing with me, it could dull the appetite, but I have to have the inner discipline. That's my conclusion, that I'm not hungry. Honor my body by not eating because I'm not hungry. And I think I need to, in this season, eat for sustenance and not for recreation and fun and all these things. No. So that's that, right? So this week, like I said, it was a lot. I did a lot of stuff. Went to work Monday, did my thing. Went to work Tuesday, did my thing in the Monday night. I had a lecture from 4 to 6, and then when I finished that, oh my God, me tell you about lecture, I gotta go and post some tutorial tasks for these students. Anyways, the class thing I got no tutorial tasks right now. I gotta figure it out with them. Yeah, I did that with my students. And then I had my management class Tuesday from 6 to 8, right after literally. Then Tuesday, we had blackout when I came home. So from like 2 to 6, by the time they come on, people, I just paid and went to bed. Then Wednesday, I had class from 6 to 8. So I taught, I was home on Wednesday. Yes, I taught online when I came home from the gym, cooked. Then did I even sleep? I don't think I slept. And then I had classes. What did I do in between the Wednesday? After the forest class to the afternoon class, I cook, I bathe, I did some stuff. Oh, I think we also had blackout again. Thursday, I had to teach from home. I was going to go to work, but because of the rain, they ain't about to give blackout. Then I had class the night. Then I had test the night for management program. We had Bible study, but Bible study got canceled because my pastor was supposed to do it, and she had her own some emergency meeting, so she didn't get to do it. And then Friday, y'all know, part-time job, I was teaching only from 9 to 3. Well, 9 to 3 with a 1 hour break. But in the 1 hour break, I was marking out the test papers because I gave them the test the week before. Oh, God. So by the time I came home, I was listening to budget speech. I had to mark lesson books for my grade 10. And my grade 10 is a big class, like almost 30 students, literally to the point where, like, I want to say, no more Newports. But I can pray to God and ask Him, for now, just keep the numbers as they are because it's be packed. And then mark grade 10 books, set lesson notes, all that. I went to bed after 1. And then got up today and did all that I had to do. So, it is what it is. I always tell myself everything is seasonal. This is my season to keep doing this. I have to always remember why I do it. And yeah, it is what it is. You know, I listened to a lot of the parliamentary debate this week and I was so intrigued. As it is right now, if I'm honest with you, politically in Guyana, I don't align with any party. I didn't vote the last time and that was intentional. I was out of the country and I could have set my vacation a different way, but I kept it how it was because I didn't feel like any party deserved my vote. But I will still be observant of what goes on in my country, observant of what goes on in politics, continue to be critical of it. There are things that the government will do and that I'm pleased with. There are things that they'll do that I'm not pleased with. But in my country, race is such a big thing where once you're black, people think that you should be associated with a certain kind of party and you shouldn't be associated with another kind. And if you're Indian, same thing. You're supposed to associate with that one but not that one. So if you cross their line that they think and go over to a party that they don't think aligns with your race, it's always met with a lot of condemnation. But I always tell myself, this is my life to live. There are people who, even if I'm critical or judgmental of them, I don't ever take that to them because people are allowed to do what they want and not without consequences. But in the context I'm talking about, people are allowed to make their choices and align how they want. And it's the same for me. But right now, I don't align with any party. I'm watching on. You know, I'm trying my best to keep praying to God for more vision, more guidance on what's next for me. I'm always a what next kind of guy, like what's next. Because there's some things I really want to happen for me, but I'm trying to be patient and see how things align themselves. There's like 3 big things I want to happen, and I've talked about them before here. So let's just see how that aligns itself. Right now, so I've read 4 books for the year. Listened to 4 books, and I'm currently reading Chimamanda's Dream Kong, but it's a thick book, but I'm reading. I want to give myself, hopefully if I am fully committed this week, I could finish it. But let's see. Because the next thing too, I'm trying not to rush. I always get in a hurry state, like I late calm. So I'm reading that. I'm listening to Ian Levanzant's newest book, Spiritual Hygiene. And it's amazing, you know, Iyanla is well-spoken. The way she speaks is so therapeutic. So I'm listening to her and I'm like, wow. So I'm listening to the book. I thought I would have finished it this week, but I'm not. I have like 2 hours and 30 minutes left. So I'll keep that for once again when I'm coming back home from the gym in the traffic to listen to it. And I already have another audiobook that I downloaded that I'll move on to. So I'm moving through. The goal is 50 books this year. Let's see how that happens. What else do I want to tell you all about? I submitted my latest manuscript to the Guyana Prize for Literature, and I submitted it. I wasn't going to, but I read a tweet and said submit your work. Everything is eligible for submit. You just never know who Hanson will come across. I have kind of pushed pause on the agent finding right now. If more information comes to me, I will. But right now, I'm praying that the prayer is, align me, Lord. So the thing with align me, though, I have to try and be prompt that when the thoughts and ideas come, go ahead and do them. So I kind of like pause the agent, actively looking for one right now. I've pushed pause on that a bit. My heart is not disheartened because I've read posts from both white and black authors talking about how many rejections they got, and something how many years it took them before the manuscript even taken off. Some of them said for some of them the manuscript was shelved, and they ended up writing a new book, and through the new book they got. So I'm gonna be intentional. I was supposed to start my podcast back, supposed to start the blog, but I'm gonna try tomorrow. That's why when I'm finished making this video, I'm gonna make 2 TikToks, and then I'm going to do some work because on the computer, because tomorrow I may cook. I ain't sure yet if I'm cooking tomorrow. I make up my mind. I cook or buy food. When I'm finished with that, I am going to cook or buy food. When I'm done with that, church, Sunday school, church, come home, eat, sleep. That's the pattern. When I get up, I'll go over to the church building, put together my notes for the podcast, record it, and with the blog, I think I can at least sign up and create the page or the domain or whatever. And I think I have enough things that I could at least make a first post. Because if I get my way, I want to post the first episode of the second season of the podcast on Monday. And I want to post the blog post on Friday. So I was to start it since this week here. Didn't get to do it. But the goal is this week here. So I want to use the blog as a way to get my writing out there, because I'm a firm believer you never know who will come across your work, in what way, and how it can impact them, and what that can be like for you. So I want to do that. This video is not going to go past 30 minutes. It's at 27 going. I'm going to cut off by 30. Also, I read a post this week and I saved it on Instagram where this author was saying, let me show you some data. She said the average book sells, I think she said, under 100 copies, and if it's lucky, 200 in its lifetime. She says some people lucky. She showed in the time span of average books how books would do the average books, and then what numbers are considered breakthrough numbers, like the 10,000. And when I think back on my book, it is a fact that I have sold over 100 copies, or right about 100, because the first shipment I did was 100. And out of that 100, I gave away on the day I gave away 5. And then when different persons invited me on the platform, because they invited me to the platform, I gave them a book. So I remember giving my friend from college a book, this other podcast a book, this girl one. I would like to say probably from that first 100, I know it's in past 10 books I gave away. And then I brought in 20 last year. And out of that last year, it's been 1 year since I have those books. And out of the 20, I probably have 10 remaining. And I did not give away any free one from this one. You understand what I'm saying? So I've sold over 100 books, which I'm so proud of. I'm so pleased of. Did I make back the money that I invested? No. Do I regret it? No. Some days I would sit and be like, what was in me to think that I could write a book? But it was a personal accomplishment that I made, and it will always be in history, as I believe myself, because I'm telling my own story. I believed in myself so much that I invested all that money to tell a part of my story. And if this second manuscript is supposed to be published, whether self or traditionally, I prefer self. It can happen now, but traditional is what I want. If that story is supposed to be told in a way that it's supposed to be told, it will happen. I am no stranger to delays. I'm not a patient person, but I'm learning it. It's an ever-growing process, and I am trying to be as committed as possible to it. So I have one more thing I want to talk about, but I'll leave that to the next video I'll make. But this brings us to the end of this life update of week 4 and 5 of 2026. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend, somebody who needs a little encouragement. Like last week I was sitting and somebody commented on the video, no, thanks sir. This is an encouragement to me. And I always tell people, document your life. I know in the age of social media, everybody want hundreds of thousands of followers and so on, but truly, I think you just never know who can interact with what you put out and how it can impact them. I am fully well aware, like, in real life, the people who are in community with me are constantly impacted positively. And that's not something that's lost on me. So I don't let the numbers on social media affect me, because I tell myself, if it's supposed to be a big viral commercial numbers, those things will happen if they're supposed to, because my life is intentional and my life is divine. See you in the next video.